All right, welcome back to the Kudlow Report. Now, this segment comes directly from you, the viewers. Back with me to share a few of your emails is my great pal, Kudlow.mp4. What's your cook-up?
We have a lot of great pals who are writing in as well. People are fired up about this, Larry, given the financial reality of most Americans. Kevin wrote in saying that someone needs to stand up and offer to cut congressional pay across the board. They need to feel the suffering of the people. And along the same lines, Tommy in Florida says limit the pay of all presidents and vice presidents when they leave office. I know you're fired up about this one. It's absurd, he says, that we are paying Jimmy Carter.
Who?
Right.
Jimmy Carter. Sorry. Now, Nicole, did you have another factoid that you wanted to give me?
No, I think they make, around $200,000 a year. They get their staff paid for, they get their Secret Service paid for, they get their mail paid for, and, they make those speeches.
Very nice speeches.
100,000, 300,000.
I think some of those presidents should pay us back, but I won't name any names. Now, all right, Nicole, we're going to see in a bit. To answer Tommy's question, let's ask Utah Republican Congressman Jason Chaffetz. He's found his own way to save lots of taxpayer money. Jason, welcome back to the show. Jason, you are the guy who started me on this whole rant about government pay excesses and their spread against the private sector. Now, let me ask you, this is an odd one, but it's from an emailer, so this is important. He believes that ex-presidents should not get unlimited lifetime guarantees of salary and benefits and so forth. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I don't think we need to be paying George Bush or Bill Clinton or Jimmy Carter. Between their book tours and their speaking fees, I would continue to pay for their Secret Service. I understand their security needs, but no, we could cut out their pay.
Right, I mean, you become president, you become a gazillionaire with all that stuff. That's a great point. Now, Jason, what about the issue of freezing or even reducing federal pay, where the premiums over the private workforce are, depending on you count it, 25%, 40% above private sector counterparts, either cutting it or freezing it, both in the executive branch and the congressional branch. What are you cooking up?
Well, I'd like to do it across the board. The federal payroll is roughly $447 billion. It's huge. There's no reason why we can't cut that 10% across the board. Now, that doesn't mean that everybody who works for the federal government is going to get a 10% pay cut, but we should go to a department who has, say, a $500 million payroll and be able to say, you're going to have to figure out how to do that for $450 million. We're going to have to figure out how to run this government on just $400 billion in payroll.
Jason, does that include the benefits, the pensions and the health benefits?
It does include benefits, yes.
All right, so if you had to freeze, more or less, what would you save?
Well, I think we ought to set forward the goal. If you're the right president, the right manager, you say 10%. Figure it out. We're going to have to cut it across the board. And again, the overall theme here is, how are we going to do more with less? I don't see any belt tightening around here. Since the president took office, the fact is we have over 100,000 new federal employees. That's the net increase. The number of federal employees.
And
I don't see anybody cutting back.
How many of that 100,000 increase is getting $100,000 plus salaries? Six-figure salaries.
For instance, at the Department of Education, they are adding 500 new bodies at a cost of over $100,000 per person. That isn't happening anywhere else in America except in the federal government. And that's what's so outrageous. That's what makes people so furious.
All right, you getting any help on this? Is anybody interested in this important issue which infuriates taxpayers and voters? Anyone else helping you on this?
Very few. We got some good conservatives, guys like Jim Jordan and whatnot, and Paul Ryan, who don't know how to lead the charge on this stuff. But I offered an amendment 2 weeks ago to cut out $18 billion to sell off excess federal property, real property, buildings, $18 billion. Rejected. Shot down.
All right, I hope everybody knows that that was rejected, because that is very important. Jason Chaffetz, you started me on this rant, and I'm going to continue it, and I wish you all the luck.
Keep going, Larry. Keep going.
Thank you. Great stuff.